Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, Brent. Testing 1, 2.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, David. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for inviting. Hey, Carlos, Ali, Brent.
Hey, everybody.
How's everybody's weekend?
I'm good. I'm just getting ready to start the live stream. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay, we are live. Okay, while we wait for Alberto. Carlos, I gave you the mic. I also want to say hi to Kiki. I want to say hi to Kay. And also I want to say hi to Ali. And definitely say hello to Brent. And again, I want to make sure everyone knows that this space is recorded, but it also we're being live streamed. So once you, when we open up the mic, once you grab the mic to speak, just know that you're going to be live stream and you're giving us permission to cut up the snippets and promote the space. Hi, Carlos. Let me make you the co-host.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. It's one of those Sundays. I've been like, I think I spent the whole day updating because I'm like preparing for the space because we're going to talk a lot about cybersecurity.
Yes, that's the most logical thing to do. But I have been troubled all this week because I wasn't able to create a space yesterday. It doesn't let me do a program space. I can open one instantly, but I cannot pre-program just like the day before or the morning earlier. So
Oh no! So you can't schedule one?
Exactly. I cannot schedule one. So I have uninstalled and reinstalled Twitter 9 times this week, and twice my operating system in Android, and it's still no solution. I don't know what happens. It's the biggest glitch ever in my social audio life this week.
Oh no! Did you talk? Did you get a chance to talk to anyone from
No,
Twitter?
not really, not yet, because I don't know if something because the connection is very weak too. Today is strong, thank God. I'm through phone data now because the Wi-Fi box, the little thing is almost useless today. So let's see. I live in South America and living in Caracas, Venezuela. So it's really a miracle. Every word that I can transmit outside the frontiers of this country is a miracle. It's the proof that miracles exist. Really, really, we have scarce resources with this here. So let's go ahead with and enjoy what we have.
No, you sound fantastic. We have David here and we have Ghost in here. I just gave him the mic, invite to speak, and Alberto should be here soon.
Yes, I don't think Alberto is gonna miss this. Unless someone has kidnapped him or something. Brian,
I
how
just
are
sent
you?
the thing over to him. Hey, Ghost. Let's see if he joins momentarily.
Yeah, maybe.
Ghost, I really enjoy your videos.
Videos. Oh, anyone in particular?
I think the one in your car when you're drinking a drink and it was empty. They're like, it's empty.
Yeah. I'm glad you like
Hi,
it.
guys. Glad to meet you guys. Starting to follow you right now. See, for example, I followed you earlier, and I Ghost Exodus, and now it appeared here like I was not following him. So that kind of things is just totally unstable for me. How do you call this sand? The Tarzan sand, the sand that swallows people. I feel like I've always forgot that name. The sand that appears in the movies. That you should not move because if you go deep.
The violin.
Yeah, deeper and deeper into that sand. There is no solid ground. Hi, David. Glad to see you here too. Kiki, long time no see. Glad to see you here. And Brent, of course. Arusi, Ava, glad to see you here. And Teddy, welcome. And Kay too. And I think we are ready because my clock is 6:31. Are we gonna wait for Daniel, or we start the party without him?
I just DM him. It's just like it's his birthday party or something. I'm having a flashback. Ali, we're gonna give you the mic in a few minutes, and I guess we can just go ahead and start. We are live streaming, and you know how weird they are on the other platforms. So, okay, so let me go ahead and say.
I want to propose something. Why don't we do only give the headline of the worst cybersecurity experience, or the most dangerous, or the most problematic, not the worst. Not to start in a negative note, but just to the most difficult, or troubleshoot or something. It's like, okay, once I lost a total website I was building in 2 months because of this and this. I mean, everyone could say or write. Remember that we have now the feature down in the right side, the little purple thingy with the comic book globe, and a number 1.
You mean the bubble?
The bubble, exactly. You can write there. So what I'm telling is that you could, while we are waiting for Alberto, to write your worst experience, and we can comment about it when Alberto comes and relate to it. I think it could be a good idea. I don't know what you think.
Well, actually, I think we should get to know more about the founders. I think, especially with the Hacker 1337 Club.
Okay, David raised his hand.
Wants to go.
Exactly. Go ahead, David.
Sure. So thank you again, everyone. So Hacker 1337 Club, it's an official cybersec team, right? It started out as a group of friends of us on Discord. And basically, we enjoy solving challenges, playing together, breaking stuff, teaching, and the like. And the group originally started as an information security group, and we eventually gravitated into this team. So our members are Ghost, Alberto, myself, and we come from all parts of the globe and have knowledge in a variety of different subjects. But in essence, we all love doing things together as a group, and we love to solve challenges together. And ultimately, we are a community. So we're definitely very glad to be here today.
Very good, and welcome.
And before we start, if anybody can retweet the space and let people know we are live right now. We start early today because I want to give us some time to be able to continue talking, because I really am interested in the whole project and everything you guys are doing. And Ghost, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Alien, thank you. It's quicksand. It's Judy and me to tell me the word quicksand. That's what I meant before. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead. Excuse me.
Oh, no worries. Well, I actually was raised in a very sheltered household, so I didn't really have access to computers up until I was 12, turning 13. I mean, I didn't watch television. The pianist on the road to Juilliard. I studied dance, choreography, and I wrote music, and just generally just traveled all over the U.S. On a concert tour. And by the time I was 12, I was done. I wanted to have a normal life, kind of have more of a peer interaction, be a part of my peer group. And it was like throwing a monkey wrench in my mother's dreams, but I started to have a normal life, and that's when I had access to computers. Now, my first friend in high school just so happened to be a hacker, and I don't know, it just took off from there. And hacking was not for me. It was like a way to really save myself and to try to self validate. I mean, if you've heard my Darknet Diaries episode, which is episode 70, you get kind of a background understanding of why I gravitated to hacking. Um, I survived a very rigorous church cult for many years. I was a music director there, and this was my only voice to really like overcome the control that was over me, over every facet of my life. And I'm a music director and a youth pastor. I create the ETA. Um, and I create the ETA with the express purpose to, you know, kind of live in this kind of life, this world that I'm creating for myself as a means to escape reality. And it just took off from there. It really did take off. And ultimately, I mean, ultimately it was my downfall. And I spent 11 years in federal prison as the first person in recent US history who has ever been convicted for corrupting industrial control systems. Now, I mean, I'm not going to get into my case, but that, my experiences, really recreated everything about me. In a way, it saved me, and in another ways, it broke me. But breaking has never been my weakness. Has always been a means to become stronger. And so I spent most of my time in prison repeating this mantra and believing in it to turn your pain into power. And that's what I did. Um, that's what I did, and that's what I am continuing to do. And so I got out of prison not wanting to do anything related to cybersecurity at all. Alberto found me as a fry cook in a restaurant, miserable and literally just wanting to die. Um, and I don't know, our stories were like, magnets. We became really, really close friends, encouraging one another. And he took off, and then I seen that he took off and built his platform, and so I started building mine. But now I'm back into cybersecurity, and here we are today.
This is great. Oh my God. Wow. So we're gonna talk some more about that. So David, I know you introduced tell us a little bit about Hacker 1337 Club, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So for me, similar to Ghost, growing up, I got into computers at the age of 13. This was back in the AOL days. This was about 1995, 96. Windows, I was still using 3.1 and 95. It was an escape for me. It wasn't that I didn't necessarily fit in school. It was more of a rush that I can explore things and go ahead and feel that there's unlimited potential and power. So, having done that for several years, I ultimately worked myself up into IT, holding various positions. And then it became too much in the sense where I thought that I knew more than others, and therefore I was above the law. So I did about a year and a half in federal prison for destroying a utility company system, and not proud of that. Although that was a short stint, it still holds true to this day that it's definitely hurt me, but it's also in a great form reshaped me, because a lot of people, and I used to look at ex-convicts as there's no chance for them, etc. Albeit it is hard, it is not impossible, and this is kind of like an outreach program. So this was pending, and I then was a cloud engineer for a company in New Jersey. And same thing, I was doing what's called cash poisoning, and I again was well. This time I was taking money, and I was snitched out, and I had to do a year in state prison in New Jersey. And after that, as if those didn't resonate with me, I ultimately worked for a guy named George Soros in New York City, and I did. I don't want to go into too much detail. I had basically destroyed their system with a man in the middle attack, and was able to get to their internal IT team. I was a senior consultant there, and this happened all back to back to back. It wasn't like I went in once, came out and did it again. All this hit me consecutively, and it really, really, really shifted and molded me into who I am today, and that is teaching ethical and to not get ahead of yourself. There's so much to learn and gain, but really finding your foothold there. There's a lot to talk about with mental health and with what prison can do. Rikers Island was not a pretty place at all, and neither was going upstate New York. I couldn't imagine what it would be today, but yeah, I got ahead of myself, and I then started my own LLC, which is still there to this day, and that's for short gigs, corp to corp, W-2, and it's mainly doing bug fixes, etc. So go into more and more details, but kind of like Ghost mentioned, that breaking down part, it breaks you and then makes you. Some people afterwards, they're completely lost. I can say I still am, but I keep thriving and keep going through, and nothing's going to make me go ahead and cross that bad line again. And, we're here, we have a big agenda and want to teach people the nuts and bolts of cybersecurity, and grow from there.
David, I have a question, kind of weird question, but excuse myself because I have been a comedy talk show host many years, and an idea came to my mind. I suppose that when you were in prison, sorry, there, if you had some kind of different activities inside prison, maybe this happened someday that, okay, everybody to computer class except you, David, you stay there. Something like that happened?
And
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
in federal, you're allowed to use the computer because it's connected to a local area network, so a LAN.
Even if you are in prison because of hacking stuff, don't tell me that. I just cannot believe it.
It's funny you mentioned, because in New York State, so again, federal, I was allowed to use their email programs. In New York State, I was a assistant teacher for computer science.
Okay.
And a lot of the correction officers would ask, well, if you have a hacking charge, why are you allowed to teach? But it was all good intent, and I was surprised at the amount of I would say lack of knowledge, but of people who didn't really use computers, but it turned out to be fun. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's interesting, because I've been questioned multiple times throughout being laughed up.
I had a close experience with two great Venezuelan hackers, and the story is this: I was in charge. I was a webmaster in 1998 and 1999 for the biggest television station in Venezuela, Venevision. The competition of the station I used to have to my talk show. I switched the stations, and I was working there. And in the team making the web page, we were in the early years, and we had a wonderful T1 connection, very strong for being in this country, and free phone lines to talk to the United States. I got to know, for example, the girl who wrote the code for the first Real Audio. You remember Real Audio? In the days of Netscape, when we used Netscape for browsing the web. And we were connected with all of them. And I went actually in 1998, I did visit Amazon when Amazon was in a little street in Seattle besides a flower shop. Okay. I went to the Real Networks headquarters. I went to Netscape headquarters too. Well, it was incredible, that trip in 1998. But in Venezuela, these two hackers, they were real clever and real skilled. And you know what I did? They, for example, told me, "Oh, do you want to know how much?" Because for example, the accounts of the television executives were in the provincial bank. And he said, "Okay, you want to know how that executive is making, how much money is making? Let's get into the bank." Oh my goodness, don't tell me that you can do that. Yes, yes, yes. And then it's being inside the station, they broke into the bank. But you know what I said? I did every time. I said, "Okay, I will look to other side. I don't want to see how you do that. I don't want to see. I never wanted to learn. I was just like scared. You're like, okay, okay, I will look to other side. Tell me when you have the numbers." Then I went and see the page. Oh my goodness, that's mother son of a gun is winning. So this what? Okay, get out of the bank rapid because we can be caught. And that happened so many times. They were able of getting. They got even into security spaces inside the states. They got in Spain, in Argentina. They got into stores. They were really, really skilled and powerful. I never wanted to see that, and they once wanted to do that from my computer. I said, "I killed you if you touch my computer for doing that. You do that from your computers. I am not here. I didn't see anything." But I really learned to respect the hackers a lot, and they started to do good things, really good things, working in the education too. They are actually teaching. One of them is in Panama, and he's very respected, and he's devoted like Alberto to explain and to teach about this cybersecurity stuff.
You know, the space is being recorded.
Yeah, okay, no, but they are innocent now. They did it. We only felt envious of the executives. It's like, oh my goodness, see what they are doing and see what they are paying us. That's the only thing we did. Nothing extra about besides that. And you know, a wonderful anecdote is that that this TV station holds every year the Miss Venezuela beauty contest, where we are probably the country that has won more international beauty crowns, including my sister. See how many Venezuelan girls have won that. My sister was the first Miss International. And actually, she is directing the Miss Venezuela organization. And in that year, 1998, we created the first international voting, just like the Miss Internet, just like we were going to receive votes, and the chief, the honchos of the station, didn't believe in internet. They saw that just like an expensive toy or something silly, and they were so surprised because they were expecting votes from, let's say, 5 to 10 countries only. You know how many countries we received votes from? 125 different countries. Countries like we never heard of, like we didn't know. They all knew the Miss Venezuela thanks to the Miss Universe and stuff. And the voting was huge. I mean, we were expecting like 500 votes, and we're receiving more than 10,000 votes. So that's what changed the story of internet inside the station. And when the owner of the station said, "Oh, maybe this internet thing is something," thanks to that Miss Internet thing that we created exactly that year, 1998.
You know, like back in 2004, I met my girlfriends and I were out to dinner, and we met this gentleman. I forgot. He was telling me he's starting as he has a security software, but he's going to have to shut it down because he didn't have no money because nobody really needed it or whatever. So now, I mean, just say 2004, right? And then now look at us here today, 2022. And there's so much education is needed and also understanding, because I don't think, like, because I hang out with Alberto and all this different cybersecurity guys, and we just sit and I listen, but I'm so happy I was able to, because I was able to like learn different things that are happening. Because if you told me back in 2004 that security software is a thing and that cybersecurity cybersecurity wasn't even a word back then, that wasn't even considered a key word. So the reason I'm saying that is so now here we are in 2022, 0 day. I literally am like right now I'm like trying to update all my Apple stuff. And here, I'm like, all this time, I'm thinking Apple is like, invincible, but nothing is invincible, as we know. But here we are today, and especially now with the NFT and all the different projects, and people are not understanding, they're jumping in because they just see like it's a gold rush. So when you guys got together and Hacker 1337 Club was founded, what were you guys' thoughts? I mean, I'm gonna ask Ghost first and see what did you think. What did you guys envision it to be?
Well, I can only speak for myself. I believe perhaps Alberto's vision was a little different than mine. I'm kind of like right now just tagging along for the ride, just to see where this goes, because like I said, I've been really slow at you know reacquainting myself with cybersecurity. Getting back into it. I mean, I do write cybersecurity related topics all day long, but just I want to see people who have role models. I don't know how great of role models we are, but there's a lot of new bloods out there who are looking for answers. They are looking for a direction, and a lot of them are being swept up in, the cult of personality that is, in the hacker subculture right now, and they're doing a lot of things that isn't really going to benefit them, career wise, and that could ultimately ended up going to prison, and we don't want that to happen. So what we want to do is try to mold and shape anyone, but for me personally, this new generation, to be able to put them on the right path, so that they don't, use their curiosity to, to break the law. It's completely unnecessary nowadays because we have a bug bounty program. We no longer have to do those things. We could harness our creativity and shoot it in a productive and healthy direction that benefits other people, not just ourselves. So for me, it does have some sort of personal, uh, you know, I feel responsible for some of these people. Okay, I don't want them to make the same mistakes as I did, and it can be completely avoided.
They do say the best way to learn is learn from someone else's experiences instead of creating your own, in that sense. So, David, tell us what was your thoughts coming into this project?
Coming into this project, so I've been speaking with Alberto for quite some time, not as long as Ghost, and then I had the fortunate opportunity to collaborate with Ghost and Alberto. So teaming up, we were able to collab on a lot of items. Not just the mindset of not doing anything wrong and making sure that things go right and that we learn from our mistakes, but also to come up with a huge plan of ongoing items to, we want to be a collective, an army of doing the right. And I just put out a tweet of our Discord server. It's still in progress, but feel free to join. But really to hear everybody out, teach the best we can, and like Ghost mentioned, to do the best as possible to stay away from any trouble. For me, it was a matter of not asking enough questions. That statement, ask questions, demand answers. So meeting up with Ghost and Alberto really struck me hard in a good way, a very inspiring and motivating way. So with that being said, we've just been continuing, updating our syllabuses and going at this. So I also hope that we could also have more spaces, whether it's weekly, etc. And I don't want to give out too much, but I do have some spoiler alerts that we've been working on. We can discuss later on today if that's okay. But yeah, I'm very happy to have met both of them, and I look up to them a lot.
I love the collaboration. I love collaboration is the best thing to do, especially when you're working on a project. So I know we want to talk a little bit about tokenizing. I'm excited. I'm thrilled actually that Alberto is doing this with you guys. But and then do you know how many tokens you guys are putting up in OpenSea?
100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100
it's not, there wasn't that many tokens because it was supposed to be like a special, it's like a specialty. Because because once somebody learned, they can turn around and sell their token to the secondary market. So I'm kind of curious what you guys' vision is about that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the exact number, or a Ghost can mention, but yes, definitely getting into the NFT aspect and teaching how that works and goes about too. I'll let Ghost chime in as well.
Oh no, you go right on ahead. I actually haven't had a moment to discuss these things with the group yet. I've also been quite curious about how many tokens we will have in the OpenSea, but it's definitely really fascinating. I'm not sure how many other platforms have ever actually used it in this manner, so this is very interesting.
Well, for me, like I do NFT music radio, and I do a lot of promotion, but I also do virtual film festivals. So we watched a lot of filmmakers create tokens for their projects, but really the people are buying tokens, investing in them, but then they add more to it, so they have a bunch of utilities to it. So we're speaking with Alberto, because I think I'm going to be, I think I know I'm doing your communication for you as far as your press releases and different projects to announce what we're doing. But I just find it interesting because your project is so different, because everyone's jumping into this gold rush, the blockchain, jumping into this, and then NFT, like myself been sitting in NFT spaces since February of last year, and I've seen and heard so many people get ganked and get just lose everything, get your wallet taken, and don't understand the smart contract, don't understand how to do different things, and just doing basic cybersecurity things that they should know about. And what you guys are offering with your project is so needed. I mean, and so needed. And also, I myself, when I go through stuff, I'd like to troubleshoot, but it's really cool to be part of a club where if you have a problem with something, you can reach out and talk to somebody.
Without question, there are so many individuals that I know, David, myself, and Alberto are approached on the web. They're constantly, you know, needing help, advice, direction. They want to know, how they want to know how to hack. They don't know exactly what they want to use it for, and I feel that this really touches, touches home for me personally. I did everything, you know, when I was younger on my own. I didn't have direction. And I think if I had had a positive direction where I wouldn't feel stupid, um, then maybe things would have been different. I don't know. But it was a very different time back then, where asking questions, you were oftentimes just shot down. And I know in this day and age, we're in a different era, and the trajectory of where we're going is really, it's not has not really been foreseen. But this platform, I think, is what we can really use to mold a lot of people who really just need a good, start and direction.
But there is something important goes to that. I don't like the idea. I mean, somehow movies and media and Netflix and stuff create the hacker just like being a synonym with evil or something bad. But there is ethical hacking, actually, and officially ethical hacking, which helped to find the security breaches in companies. And actually, in the same year, 1998, we had later in that year an experience with a company offering security for cover, I mean, just like a firewall. They were Venezuelan developers, and they were developing an idea for a special kind of firewall to protect the dial-up connections and stuff, and the intranet and so on. And they were charging a lot, very, very expensive. So they commit the mistake of promising certain level of security. And one of the hackers told me, hey, that what he's saying, this company is offering this product. I mean, we can break that easily. I mean, well, let's do something. Let's offer just like some kind of guarantee. And they said, okay, if someone can get into through our firewall, I will give you the same amount of money we're charging. We will return the money and we will give you the same amount as a compensation for being breached. And that happened in 2 hours. I mean, they finished the installation of the supposed ultra impossible to violate security system. And one of these two friends with another external, an outsider, who was stronger, and he worked in the Venezuelan Simon Bolivar University. They came, and in 2 hours they actually broken, and the company had to pay that money because they were so big mouthed, and they were boasting so much about their security, and they paid. I think they learned quite a lesson, and then they gave us the television station gave us a little prize, a little bonus in money for being able to win. So everybody, it was a real happy ending.
Security, and like this era, this time that we're living it's just, there's nothing like it. So there's really no excuse for us to go back, and pursuing the things that we used to do 10 years ago, when we could actually, be a part of creating a more secure world against the threat actors who don't want to be a part of that. I absolutely love it, and it is my goal and absolute desire to get on board with that. And that is such a fascinating story that you said. I had done a little bit of research a few months ago about early bug bounty programs, and they did exist. They were isolated. They were extraordinarily few, but that was a really good story.
I miss those times. You cannot imagine how much. I mean, I was so stuck to the web, and it was you know what? Listen to this. Listen to this. You know what I have in my house? I have at home a little diskette, 3 point. They were 1 mega.44, if I am not mistaken, right? Okay. When Amazon was just starting, okay, Amazon maybe was just 6 months old. I asked them, I purchased from Amazon a biography of Benjamin Franklin, but I wanted specifically the English edition, and they sent me an American edition by Penguin. So I did receive a letter of apology, okay, by someone from customer service, and I keep a copy of that Hotmail because Gmail didn't even exist yet. And I have a copy of the Hotmail letter that came from Amazon. Well, actually, in my Hotmail, because they had, of course, their Amazon.com domain, and it is signed. Believe it or not, I will promise. I have to find that diskette. It was signed by. It said Jeff Bezos customer service. Jeff Bezos was working in customer service, taking care of his baby in that year. I think that was in 1999, sorry. 1999 it was not 2000 yet, because in 2000 I was already back to my old TV station. So that was exactly in year 1999. Okay, so that's a treasure I got at home, because I don't know why, because I saw later that he in a magazine article or something, it said the name, because Bezos in English, his last name in Spanish, it means kisses, just like kissing. So it was a very funny name, very with a high recalling power. Because Jeff Bezos is just like telling, like he will recalling in Spanish, Jeff Kisses, just like the old group Kiss, the rock Kiss group. So I just have it. And it's stunning. My friends, when they see that, it's just like, I still have an external diskette, USB player, and I can put it and we can see it. I promise I will bring that to the space.
I love your story. You should NFT that. I feel like anything you
Yes,
have, you should NFT
exactly.
everything.
Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 of course, because it says Jeff Bezos customer service below the letter. I mean, it's signed by Jeff Bezos, and he put himself as customer service, being already the owner of the place. Isn't it incredible? I mean, that's a person taking care of his stuff. Go
So
ahead, David. Go ahead.
I just shared the link in the bubble. It's actually from nftfeed.app. It's just telling about the project, the Hacker 1337. And according to this, because I know this part is Alberto's thing, but he's not here, so he'll be here soon. But there is 22 piece for the VIP collection. The Hacker is the Hacker 1337. The Hackers NFT VIP Club whitelist OG tokens is a 22-piece NFT collection stored on the Ethereum blockchain. The current floor price for a Hacker 1337, the Hackers NFT VIP Club whitelist tokens, is 0.0133 ETH, which is like $22.50. The total sales volume for Hacker 1337, the Hackers NFT VIP Club whitelist. That's really cool.
That's wonderful. So I think
I
that
also see like a lot of different things you guys can do with this. Go ahead, David. The mic is yours.
Well, I'm glad you. That was perfect timing, Tanya, and Carlos. Also, very very interesting story. Phenomenal. With regards to those NFTs, another thing, not to get too technical, is really in addition to go into, like you mentioned earlier, Tanya, about smart contracts, Web3, DeFi, DApps, and we also want to go into how the ecosystem itself work. But that's down the road. And I'm glad you mentioned that too from the site. So yeah, thank you.
I think it's a project that if you're new to NFT and you want to learn about something and you want to understand further before you jump in, this is like a really important investment to do for yourself, really, to get into this. Because I mean, for the cost of that, it's like nothing. I mean, to be safe than sorry, because I've seen people do projects, they get so all happy about it, and then that contract doesn't come out, the smart contract doesn't work, they didn't do it right, they totally messed it up. And some people I've talked to, I'm kind of like, oh, what's your secondary market? They're kind of like, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is. So so there's a lot of different things that people should try to understand and learn. You can watch all the YouTube videos you want, but if you don't have have the opportunity to sit in a Discord and be part of a club to ask and ask questions and share your stories and talk about what your ups and downs that you're dealing with, I think that's the key right now that we're talking about, because you're offering support, and support is really, it's worth a lot more than what you guys are, your floor prices going right now. Oh, my friend Devin's here. Hi. Let me say hi to him. So, I see you guys are in the OpenSea, and your stats are really fantastic. So, have you guys come up with a syllabus or part of the syllabus?
Yes, we have, and I'm glad you mentioned too about the OpenSea. Definitely with the API, etc. So Ghost, myself, and Alberto we came up with a preliminary agenda, but we still want to further fine tune it, and that's why maybe the Discord / these spaces will help really further align everything. So when that's finalized, which should be, I don't know, let's say another few days, we can definitely put that into the server and answer the questions and go forward from there.
I would love to have a T-shirt with that token of because I remember when Alberto had that made, or someone he had it made, and then now he has colors in it. So I think it's really a cool token.
Hey, listen, I want to announce something that even Tonya doesn't know. I want to choose a cartoon every week for this program, technology or related to the subject we will be talking. And I already put the first one of this new section, the cartoon of the week. Look at that. You have those little birds on this in this cartoon and see what they say. I love that joke. Take just a second to take a look. Isn't it wonderful? That's pure genius. That cartoonist is a genius.
That's great.
I was online. I love that. I was online and like I used to follow XKCD. So that there's this whole thing about 1337. Did anyone of you guys want to explain what that means? I actually researched it because I thought it was like Alberto's birthday, but it means something else.
So I believe David and I will concur probably on this. It's Haxer. It's like leet speak. Leet speak, as in we would use a substitution of certain letters and characters to write in English. 1337 basically means elite. Some of us like computer nerds back in the day are probably laughing right now, but yeah, it means elite, and it still means it today.
It's interesting, yeah. Even going back to, I remember back in the CompuServe, AOL days, the leap back then would be typing in one word would be, typed in lowercase and capital, etc., Haxer, all of those. Yeah, but going back, it's funny just to reminisce upon.
Yeah. I think back in the day, we would have wrote hello multiple ways. We could use H3110 or pound 3 pipe 0. You could be very creative with it.
Well, you know that actually I did learn HTML totally by heart. There was no front page, there was no Dreamweaver, there was nothing, no software to create and to program a web page. So I learned, we were a bunch of kids, just like, of kids. 20 years ago, I was already 40. Okay, sorry. I am 61 now. But I felt younger 20 years. 20 years back. And it was great because we had to learn. I didn't know I was learning programming because I don't like math. I don't like numbers. I hate Excel or Excel. I don't know how do you say? Do you say Excel or Excel? But I hate it. And I don't love that. But HTML had some kind of magic and actually allowed you to produce the div line right, div line left. I said, this is like I felt like a wizard, because according to as I writing, the picture will appear in the web page in the right side or the left side, and this kind of power you felt, and we learned that by heart, and it became so useful for me as a consultant today for creative projects, people having trouble with their web pages, the landing pages, or whatever. It is very, very great. I would recommend anyone to start to actually learn HTML. Has something. It's just like a law in music. If you play organ first, you cannot play piano. But if you learn piano first, then you can play organ. They say that in the music teaching world. And I think that HTML is wonderful to give you a general idea in a very easy way, because if someone has horribly far away from programming like me, I was able to actually dominate it. Of course, I have already forgotten more than half or practically everything about HTML today. But it was a great base, and that feeling helps me a lot with my consulting jobs today. Go ahead, David.
Carlos, that's very well said. It's not like you're just gonna jump right into, a jack of all trades, master of none. And on that note, in the Discord server, we actually put a few coding references. So We3 Schools, etc., learning HTML in addition to CSS, and then going from there, JavaScript, Python. But right, the starting points, the foundations, the low hanging fruit, I'll call it, and then step by step building upon that. So it's really interesting to hear all the backgrounds that everybody has here.
Yes, I feel like a dinosaur actually, but I feel happy that I went through that era and I saw that growing, and I actually got to meet the girl in the and even I have another anecdote. It's just like the first people when they did real video after real audio. I actually met the programmer over there in their building. The number of the building was 1111. I can remember that clearly in a Seattle Avenue. Uh, and there, they later, when I went back to Venezuela in 1999, or when they created Real Video, they connected with BBC of London, and they weren't able to connect with them. They connected then with ABC in the United States, and because they rented a server to do the first video test, live video test, and then they called us. And so, from the first person in history of the humankind on the web live is a Venezuelan newscaster called Eduardo Rodriguez. He's a friend of mine. And we went on the air, and I got a letter from Real Networks stating that the fact that the first time that they did test officially the Real Video was with us, with the little team from Caracas, Venezuela. So I am talking now like a contestant in the beauty contest. I am from Venezuela. I am Miss Caracas. Thank you.
So I'm on your website, which is hacker1337.club. And I know you're building out the platform, and you have all the different things that you're doing. But what I'm kind of curious is, like, you're planning to have a podcast. So would that be from your spaces that you guys host, and then it creates this, then becomes a podcast? Or will you be recording separately and doing it like YouTube or something? Ghosty,
No, this is the first time hearing it. I'm kind of on the fringes of this. But what about David? What do you have to say? Let's hear it.
Yes, same thing. We'll toggle back with Alberto, but there's various options. So, of course, YouTube is one. Anchor.fm, also the recordings from Spaces. So, not to make it convoluted, but several avenues, and see how that goes. Definitely, and that's a good. I just made a note too, so we can toggle back on that. That's a good point.
Well, I think because your project is so unique that because this is NFTs for a cause, and your cause is educating and empowering, especially anyone that's getting ready to go into an NFT project, to learn more about cybersecurity, and then give them pretty much checkpoints. Make sure they have a list of things that it needs to get done correctly, and also have a team that it's a club. It's a VIP hackers club, so that can also kind of like guide you, because it's so important. Like my host here, who I do music NFT with, Louis. He has a space that I'm one of the co-hosts, and he's going to be doing his first music NFT project. And I told him, I said, make sure you come here. So he's here in the space, and so hopefully he can ask him if he wants to ask some questions. He's welcome to. But I also feel like it's so important for people to learn more about these kind of things, because again, like I do not stress more than ever. I've just been sitting in spaces and watching brand new people just jumping in here, feeling so excited and getting so excited and just feeling the love, right? But then they don't realize, they're not. I watch so many people's wallet get like drained by just going into a website and then just plugging it in there and not doing the check, to make sure it's a safe website.
Well, and actually, Microsoft and Google and the big companies, they offer rewards or prizes. I mean, they said, okay, we offer some money to people if you can break through this, and that I think is the best way of testing something. I think Would you consider yourselves ethical hackers? Because I know that the concept of ethical hacking is accepted as a good thing. From that point, from that standpoint, I mean, education and prevention.
Oh, without question.
Absolutely, yes, ethical. And then you have the three. Actually, there's more now. So the white hat hacker, doing right. The gray is in between, and then the black hat is doing the nefarious stuff. And then it comes along with the teams. I know it's all color named. So the red team attacks. The purple team is in between. MITRE, for example, MITRE. We'll go ahead and do kind of the recon and work around, and then the blue team will go ahead and fix. So yes, correct. There's but we're all out for the good.
Yeah, there's like so many, because I when I used to sit in forums, Berto and I talk about this. He laughs because I used to go, yeah, I sit in forums, and one time I sat in a white hat, which I totally understood, and then I went into the black hat, which is kind of scary. I was terrified actually, and then I went in a blue hat, and then he's like, no, I think you got the blue team. So he's trying to explain to me all the different things, but I find them very interesting because the problem solving and the fact that nowadays, I mean, I'm looking at a story right now, like somebody from Slash Gear. They just published 4 hours ago. I'm going to share this. Hijacking satellites is easier than you think. I mean, really? That's kind of scary.
I was just thinking, wouldn't it be funny if I receive a DM right now of Alberto telling me that he couldn't get here because he just got hacked in his birthday and the day of the program? I cannot believe it. It's so. I mean, is it really his birthday?
No, it's in October. It's October.
Okay. Okay, good.
Because it's a joke. Because I threw his birthday party last year, so we live streamed it. It was so funny, and we had all the different hackers popped in. It was just really hilarious. And so this year, it's coming up again. So when we were talking about this project, and I was like, "Is it your birthday? That's why you named it this?" Because there's a number 13 in his on his birthday. And he's like, yeah, it is, but no, it actually means elite.
And this is our 27th emission of these NFTs for a cause programs. I want to thank everybody listening to the recordings or being here live today here or listening to this later. And it has been a great experience along with Sonia because this has been we have a real rainbow of different real spectrum of different options of helping people, helping humans all over the world in so many different ways that NFTs are really, really working and functioning. I remember the Toga, the volcano in the Pacific, for example, and they were doing these NFTs that sold through, and they were getting the help of Caritas, which is an official helping organization, and getting sure that the money actually got to the people affected that needed the money. We have been sexual victims cases. We have been with people helping the kids in Ukraine. I feel real happy to be here because I feel I am in a very, very nice mission knowing this variety. And now this is a little baseball card we didn't have in our album yet. This cyber security thing and this cyber security education, which is really, really needed to change this paradigm and to get the people to abort this properly, to get a proper vision of this issue, which is so important because we are totally immersed in this technological war. It is just like the old key makers for the wooden doors or iron doors in the old houses 2 centuries ago. You are just like the treasurers. You are like the key makers. It's like the black woman in the Matrix. Remember that she has a name related to the keys. So you are just like kind of the key creators and the protectors. So good work, the thing you're doing. Thank you for coming today.
Well, I'm sharing some stories to everybody, but one of the one is I remember there's Aurora. Aurora pays $6 million in buck bounty to ethical hackers. I mean, like since we were talking about ethical hackers and different things, um, that story was I remember when this was happening. It was like so incredible, and actually now it's taken. They took it down. Oh well, I was going to share it with you guys, but they took it down. But there's a lot of different people. They think when you think of the word hacker, you think it is such a like bad thing to say. Like this, that's a horrible thing to do. So, David, or Ghost, what are have you guys come across it when you talk about the word when you mention the word hacker? Has it been a negative or has it been a positive?
It's been both. It's the stigma and connotation associated / affiliated with it. So some people like to say hacker, and it doesn't mean that it's bad. Some people will automatically think, "Oh no." For me, I tend to use the word, cybersecurity researcher. But yeah, it's been both good and bad. And for me, and Ghost can allude more. I usually have to explain and what it is that I do and focus on. And Tanya, just to piggyback real quick, if I may, about the Aurora, it's interesting too. That was through Immunify, I remember, and if that white hat hacker had gone the other way, he could have made so much more money off it. But the that ethicalness in him, that person, that researcher, just proves, there are good people in this field, in this industry.
Wow, good to hear that. Thank you.
For myself, it's always been it's always been a hit and miss. For when I first started in '98 to about 2009, it always had a negative connotation because of the way that word and everything that comes with it has been portrayed oftentimes in the media. And for the people who get arrested, it creates a certain kind of image in people's mind. And um, even though the term itself can be applied multifaceted, for example, with my family, I can't even really talk about what I do today. If I show pictures of myself as Ghost Exodus or speaking about cybersecurity, if something happens to the computers, I'm always the first person that they think is responsible. So it really depends on us. It really, not everyone is like them. People are fast. We've had Mr. Robot. We've had uh, other portrayals in the media that show that hacking can be used for good, for ethical, for social justice. It can be used to right wrongs. It can be used to find answers to things that no one else can, or it could extend an investigation in places where law enforcement cannot go. So there's a lot of different intrigue involved and a lot of different thoughts, feelings, imaginations. It really depends who the audience is when it boils down to it.
But I bet you're the first one your family calls if they can't figure out something on the computer.
You are absolutely irrevocably correct.
Yeah, I don't know much about computers. I just know how to push buttons, and I figure I just have a good memory, so I just push buttons and I figure out how to do it. But my girlfriends think I'm this incredible computer genius. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. But then I realized like just to talk someone on how to update their Mac was like an ordeal. It took me like forever to some of my girlfriends. When that on Friday when Apple put out there's 2 patches, to do it now, update. And I'm trying to explain this to my girlfriends and trying to walk them through. It was just, I know deal. And then they argue with me, right? I love it when people argue with you. Like, no, my phone does it for me. No, my phone, I have it all set up. And I'm like, well, go look to see if it does it for you right now. Go look. And they're like still arguing with me. And like, no. I know my system. It does work. And then they're like, oh, you're right. I need to update this. I'm like, okay, let's update this. But I feel like, when you try to like help people too, damn if you do, damn you don't. But when they need you, and that's how I laugh about this. I think like, this is such a special niche that everyone I know are like talking about this, pen testing and cybersecurity and this and that. And besides, the news is talking about it. And I think the most important one was when Facebook went down, and it was like horrific for everyone. I think all my friends were like traumatized when Facebook went down, and then and none of us could imagine anything cybersecurity related. So now, like kind of like you guys are coming together and creating a platform and educating the people. Where do you see yourself in the next, like I would say, in 6 months from now? Do you guys have that long-term vision of how you want things to work out? Because you start with 22 tokens, but then once you get that going, and then you get the secondary market with the tokens, and then you're gonna have more people wanting to, because there's a lot of people. I mean, every day I keep seeing new NFT artists and NFT musicians and filmmakers, and the blockchain is just like it's gonna be our way of life. So where do you guys see yourself in the next, let's say, 6 months to a year? David, you want to answer that question?
Sure. I personally see this growing to an exponential level because there's so much, like you mentioned before, not the bad side where people are going to lose out, but Ghost, Alberto, myself, you, Tanya, and several others. Yeah, definitely a long-term plan, and we'll have to make note of that, and also on that note, a contingency plan as well, so that we are always upholding our integrity and make sure that this can go and grow bigger and possibly transform to bigger and better platforms.
I totally concur. You couldn't have said it better.
So we have about it's 7:30. I would like to go ahead and put the mic up. Anybody wants to grab the mic, please do. You want to ask some questions to our guest. Alberto had a long night. I think he was working quite a bit. So we're going to go finish up at 8 o'clock sharp. But if anybody want to have any question, please grab the mic. And I want to say hi to my friend Bryce, who is an incredible space host himself, and Dantanzo. Hello, we're gonna be hanging out in 30 minutes. And then hey Kiki. Louis, if you want to ask a question, because I know Louis is getting ready to launch his project, I'd love for him to ask some questions about it. I'm gonna invite you to speak, Louis.
Tonya, just a second. Maybe, David, I don't know if they can explain this joke to me. I have here a cybersecurity joke. It says, how did the vegetable farmer sell his product on the dark web? I repeat, how did the vegetable farmer sell his product on the dark web? He used onion routing. Is that a good joke?
That's very very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got my attention. Yes.
Can you explain it to me without being a 2-hour course on programming or hacking?
Sure. So the onion. So when you connect to Tor, it's layered, right? You connect from your original IP
okay.
through one. It's called an exit node. Or sorry, a Tor node. That's one, and then you go to 2, and then 3, and then when you finally reach your destination, your exit node. That's the end of that onion, that slice, and then the data there is not encrypted. But that's pretty funny.
Good. I like it. And there was something that said, I don't know. I lost one. Was around here. I did think it could be easy too. Oh, what do you tell a hacker after a bad breakup? What do you tell a hacker after a bad breakup? Come on, there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Gotta hand it to you. That's
I think that's a nice one too. Thank you.
Hi, Louie.
Hi, Tanya. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Ghost? What's up, David? How are you guys?
Fine.
It's an interesting conversation. When I was younger, I wanted to be a hacker myself as well too. I was a gamer. So yeah, I was like, but obviously for kid reasons, right? I was trying to have like the best weapons, the best powers and everything. But yeah, interesting conversation. I'm just here, just vibing.
Did you have any question about when it comes to your smart contracts or anything like that for your projects, the upcoming project?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm creating my music NFT project, but with this first project, with my Genesis project, I wanted to just have fun with it and just like I'm not really expecting anything. Just I'm putting them all, but just not expecting anything. But I'm not really having. I'm going through OpenSea. I'm not sure. Maybe David Ghost. Maybe you guys can give me, um, you know, some feedback or some advice. But I'm just doing something very simple, through OpenSea, for my first Genesis collection of 100, and then we're gonna move from there, right? Network, expand, and learn more, right?
We can definitely assist with regards to OpenSea and how that goes regarding the smart contracts. I'll go ahead and follow you, and if you want to hop into the Discord server at any time, that's a great topic.
Let's do it, David. Let's get it.
So also when it comes to cybersecurity, there's actually I was reading up on a story about cybersecurity expert urges parents to talk with kids about online safety ahead of school year, because I feel like nowadays all the children and all of them are giving like a phone to use, so it's such an Kiki's perfect. So it's so important to actually have a conversation about this. Will you be offering any will you be talking anything that what parents should look out for when it comes to cybersecurity and for their kids? I mean, I know kids who are 7 years old who have a phone, an iPhone.
That's really interesting because my son is 3.5, and I'm not allowed to get him a phone. I do have a tablet for him, although I put the necessary preferences in there. He hasn't got to that point yet to kind of finagle around it, but that's an interesting topic as to how somebody should go about with younger people and actually with people of all ages joining. But not just cybersecurity, but computer awareness and people on any platform messaging, especially spam and phishing, etc., are getting a lot of people of all ages. But yeah, growing up for us was different. We didn't have the tools that are available today, but the self awareness and teaching is that's another item that I'm currently working on with my son. He's still a little too young, but as he grows, I don't want him to go as far as I had.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi, I would like to offer some insight regarding digital citizenship, which is another word for cybersecurity for children. This is something that they understand. I teach and I have presented on many occasions. There is a wonderful platform. It's called Common Sense Education, and they have partnered with Nearpod, with the both partners that I collaborate with during my presentations, the conferences, my everyday work. So in this platform, children learn how to go to safe websites, how to protect their identity, how to ask their parents for help if something seems suspicious. So they're learning from a very young age, as young as 6. And that it's actually a city and state mandate in New York. I do believe it's in many states. I have been teaching. I am very, very involved in it. So in the coding week that we have, it's usually in December. That's my first lesson, digital citizenship. And then we move on to coding, simple coding, not Python or anything else. I teach neurodiverse children, so I use code.org. However, yes, there are platforms, and if you want me, Tanya, I can offer that resource in the bubble and up in the nest. People can follow up after the space with your permission. I hope that's okay.
Oh yes, please do. Can you can
Of
pin it and also
course.
put it in the bubble this way, because when I blog, that's what I'm gonna
Of
go in.
course. Of course. And so that was my contribution. And my question is this. We know that we know that FaceTime and so many resources that people use to communicate, WhatsApp, Viber, are so easily hacked and have been hacked lately. What is the other one called? Signal, even Signal, which used to be super safe. I just want to ask the people in the space if they are aware, because I have been looking, and it's something of very high interest to me, of something that would be safe, would be considered safe and secure for communicating with people regarding sensitive subjects. If anybody has an answer, I would really like to know. So thank you so much. And if someone can step up and answer, I would really appreciate it. I will put the link on the nest as I promised, Tanya. Okay, my love. Thank you so much for letting me come up and speak.
Thank you. David or Goose, did you guys want to answer that?
That's very good because so originally with WhatsApp, what had happened is right. So you like Tanya, if I'm texting you, my text goes from myself through a middleware, so the metadata can be collected and has been, and then goes to you. And then Signal is supposed to just be from me to you directly with no person in the no middleware. There's no full secure app that I'm aware of. I do use Keybase.io. There's a whole bunch of platforms, etc. And I try to the best I can. I'm not always successful to reverse engineer as much as I can without getting lost. But I do definitely shy away from Facebook Messenger. If it's something like project related, WhatsApp, I still use Signal to an extent and Keybase, but there are more, and just make a note of that too to piggyback on for the next conversation. What apps are scored, and I actually found it a while ago. Not to be long winded, I found a rating. It was an Excel sheet, and it actually gave the pros and cons regarding pretty much all aspects of it. I'll have to see if that's updated and where it is. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would love for you to share that with us. I'd like to see that too.
I'm with David on that. Keybase has been really reliable for for the time I've been using it, and I also use I've been using Wire off and on. I don't really like it, but I've been using it simply because I don't have to use a phone number. I can use like an email address, and I really have not really been in the whole encrypted communication loop. So I've just been kind of a creature of habit. Keybase and Wire has been my go-to for a while.
Yeah, I'm looking up everything as you're talking. Wire, okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like a lot of the even Signal, all them. I don't know. I don't like stuff on my phone too much. I've gotten to the point that at one time I would download tons of apps, and now I'm just like looking, because I'm not doing that much. My agency is not like going to people's offices and working and creating a lot of content on Instagram. I'm kind of more like focusing on social audio and making content that way. So I'm just like now just downsizing, meaning just have a phone just to do my Twitter Spaces. But I'm ready to go to a flip phone so that I can feel comfortable. Am I being too paranoid, or I'm tired? I feel like I hold my phone all the time. I'm like I'm consciously turning my phone off and not messing with my just not, because I feel like it's as as an early adopter to social media, and I just feel like doing this stuff for so many years, and decade, like since 2006. And then anytime a new smartphone comes out, I'm kind of like the victim, not the victim, but I'm kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go get this one because I gotta have this one. You have that phone envy. I don't know. I'm sure every one of us at one time suffer from it. I did. People would be telling me about their new phone they're getting. I'd be like, oh, I got phone envy. But I don't know. Nowadays, I just feel like because of everything that's happening, I just want to like just have one phone. I'll use it to do my stuff with, and then have my flip phone. But it'd be cool to have something that's encrypted in communication and do it on my desktop. Is that how you use it, Ghost? Wire?
Yes, you can do that. And one of the important things about Wire, especially for like iPhone users, is that you can log in, using your face. And I think you can also use a PIN code if that doesn't work. I always like to be able to utilize some type of authentication so that anyone who picks up my phone is not just an open conversation that others can view. It's a little more secure. There's some groups that I know who have an extraordinarily high profile who also um, are they feel very safe using Wire and Keybase.
Yeah, I do. I'm hoping that Twitter will let us be able to do our space on a desktop. That would be fantastic. David, the mic is yours.
Oh yeah, that's another good point too about Wire. Not only for the phone, but also on the desktop. Yeah, that's I haven't been using it as much lately, but have before. Another one too is it's called Librem.one, and will be at the name Librem. Free Librem Chat is another end-to-end encrypted with VoIP. So, but yeah, I'll have to take a look at that spreadsheet and put it together. But right now, it's those two. Keybase and Wire. And thanks, Ghost, for bringing that back up so I can check back into it. Yeah.
At the rate we're going with technology, is going so fast, and every day. I mean, I'm addicted to who is it? I think I'm addicted to fear porn. I think I got that from Joe Rogan. Because when you just sit there and you read up the screen, you read that, you just scroll and scroll and scroll, and you're like, oh my God, this company got hacked, that got hacked, this got hacked. And then you kind of like addicted to like checking on it. And I'm Googling it just to make sure the story's right. I'm calling my friends, I'm talking about it. And, I really think it keeps me PTSD because now I'm always double and triple checking myself, but it's better be safe than sorry, right? And everything's going by so quickly and everything's happening so fast. So I'm really excited about the Hacker 1337 Club because I feel like what you guys are going to launching is going to make such a huge difference in a lot of people's lives because, you educate to prevent. And that's the key. I mean, and a lot of people think it's I don't know. I have some friends who are kind of like, oh, you worry too much, or why would you even do that? But then they get hacked, and then guess who they call, right? So I feel like it's such an incredible platform that you're building, and I'm excited for you guys. So it's about 10 minutes to 8.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Ghost.
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. But it's about 10 minutes to 8. I wanted to also go ahead and ask anyone if you have any questions. You want to go ahead and grab the mic because we're going to end sharp at 8 o'clock because I'm doing another space. But and Alberto, I'm sure, worst on the worst, we'll do another space later with Alberto. But do you guys have any final thoughts? And what are you excited about today?
I have here another one, if you allow me. It says, why didn't the IT team set up their remote office from the beach? I repeat, why didn't the IT team set up their remote office from the beach? You know why? Because it was too cloudy. That's horrible. Sorry. That's
Keep
horrible.
coming. This is great.
That's
It's good though. It was good though, because I never thought to think of it that way. I'm gonna try that. Can I use that joke and tell my hubby because he'll get it? Because I'm horrible at joke. I can never. It's hard for me to get a joke, nor can I tell a joke. But I love that. Hey Ali, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Hello from Paris. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, I, as I was connecting, I missed Carlos's joke. Is that better or worse that I missed it? Is it good that I missed it?
No, it was just fun.
Okay,
It's funny. Go ahead, tell it again, Albert.
no,
Tell me,
I,
Carlos.
I can repeat again. Why didn't the IT team set up the remote office from the beach? Because it was too cloudy.
It was too cloudy. Okay, got it.
So it's hard. It's
Okay,
hard enough.
I have one for you. How many
Okay, good.
how many how many blondes does it take to change no. Let me think about it. I'll tell you in a minute. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that sounds like a really exciting program. Thank you so much. I'm really excited because I'm an artist, and so I've been just watching the whole NFT thing kind of unfold, but it feels kind of dangerous to me in terms of, I don't know how to keep track of my money, if it's a separate economy. I don't know how to keep my artwork safe and different things. So I'm really looking forward to this type of proactive kind of uh, a lexicon and a kind of step-by-step way to get into it, so it's not just like pieces here and there you pick up tips. Sounds like you guys have a syllabus you've been working on, and that feels really important and interesting. I've met some of you through Roberto's spaces, and I know Kiki and Kay and Azure and several people and Stacy and Bryce. And I just I'm really I want to thank you because it's really helpful to have something that can start. I'm just an artist, so it's quite I know how to basically use a computer, but I'm a neophyte in terms of how to protect myself and my artwork. So that feels very considerate of you guys, and thank you very much, because that's been keeping me from making any kind of jump into that direction at all. So thanks so much.
Okay, Eliana, I got another one for you.
Okay.
What do you call an excavated pyramid? What do you call an excavated pyramid?
I don't know, Carlos. What do you call it?
Unencrypted.
Ay. That one hurts. That was bad. That's bad,
I
Carlos.
know.
Oh my
I'm sorry. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
God. So it's about 6 minutes. Carlos, you crack me up. So we're probably gonna end up doing another space. I'll let you know when after I talk to Alberto. And I really appreciate you guys for being here, Ghost and David. So do you guys have anyone want to share final thoughts before we close out this space?
I just want to say this is a great space, and thank you for for good hackers, like positive hackers like Ghost and David out here in the world, because like you guys were talking about, like it has like a negative stigma, right? So you guys are are the voice, are the light for that positive energy and that love. So thank you guys. Thanks for the space.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, for you being here. Thank you.
Can I just say one more thing real quick?
Yes, please.
Of course.
Talking with Alberto a bit, we've been talking a lot about how the web is the Wild West, and people tend to there's all kinds of stuff that happens that's maybe negative experiences for people. So it really is reassuring to see a group of people coming together, you guys, the three of you, to bring together your experiences, and then the rest of your team there with Tony and Carlos to try and help it be a protected space and to work for good. And that's really encouraging, because otherwise it feels just kind of overwhelming and scary. But we really need to take it by the reins and just claim the space as a positive space and work together as a hive, to make it what we want it to be. So I appreciate your work very much, and the vision is really cool. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for those words. Great. Tonya, we are wrapping this. We are 5 minutes away.
Yes, we're wrapping this up. Again, this space is recorded and live streamed, so we'll be cutting up some snippets and sharing it out. And we'll probably end up doing another space. It's just I know Alberto's been working really hard on the project, and he's probably in the middle of something, but he'll be back. But on that note, David, thank you so much for being here. And Ghost, before I let you guys go, can you tell our listeners how to get a hold of you? David, you first.
Sure. So for me, if you'd like, feel free to send me a DM on Twitter, and you could also join the Discord. And anything further than that, I'd be more than happy to share my email, etc. That should be enough.
Awesome. Ghost, can you tell us how to get a hold of you?
Oh, without question. Let's say the best way to really reach out to me is the same. Just shoot me a DM. I'm always on Twitter and I don't miss a message and I usually respond very quickly. So that's the best way to reach me.
Will you be providing some more entertainment for us with the videos? I really enjoy you just doing these.
Most of my videos are on TikTok or on YouTube. But yes, I will make them. I usually make them for myself, but I do share them with others.
I find them very entertaining, so I just want to let you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm almost shameless, so I do it for my own enjoyment because life is just we need to laugh a little more, especially in this very, very serious industry.
Especially lately.
Did you notice how he said almost shameless?
Good.
And Kiki, so when is your next space?
Oh, that's a very good question. I don't know. I need to come back. I need to make a comeback. That's true. I'm expecting sometime in September when everything settles with work. I would love to come back, and I would love to have my my regular co-host who has been very, very busy with work, but maybe Ali can come up and help me. Okay. Because it's very important to have a co-host because you always need to have your two somebody watching and it's I would really like to come back. Yes,
we would make a good team, Kay and I, as your co-hosts together, the two of us.
oh yes, I would love that.
So on that note, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We'll be back next week at 6:30 p.m. for our next episode of NFTs for a Cause. And again, this episode is already live streamed onto Facebook, Twitch, and also Twitter Live. It's on Social Chats SF Twitter Live if you want to watch the replay. But you can listen to the replay. I'll have this up. And anything else, Carlos? Carlos and I, we talk all week long. Like he sends me little snippets, sends me jokes.
No, what I want to say, this is a secret, so please don't tell anybody. Tonya is so capable and so contactful because we are live and streaming and we are recorded, and then she handles the blog, the stuff, the planning, everything. She has a special agreement with Mr. Elon Musk, and we are the only space now being streamed on Mars in this moment. She got that for us, okay? So you can be happy to be in social audio Martians, all of us. Thank you for coming, everybody. Come on.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to be hopping into Louis' music space. So if you guys want to listen to some music and we're interviewing someone really cool, join us. And again, everybody have a great day, and we will be back. Bye, everybody.
See you. Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.